So me and my wife have been talking about getting an action camera. Super excited about this. You know, she has these expectations that we're gonna look like badasses on these videos, and I'm like, no, this is like an expectation versus reality thing. That's not how it's gonna work. We're gonna get this camera, and it's gonna sit in a freaking drawer after we realize we look like a couple of old people just now learning how to ride a bike. But anywho, because I love my wife and she's super persistent when she wants something, we did end up getting a Rylo 360. Now, choosing that camera specifically was my idea because I imagined myself, you know, putting this thing in the middle of a berm and just like railing it or shredding it, whatever, and having the camera follow me as I did the thing. Of course, this is pure fantasy. I'm nowhere near that good. So this is me sharing my experience with the Rylo 360. Now this part here is pretty awesome. I had the camera face my direction and my wife bends down to adjust her water bottle here. And you can see that her head is like turning completely around into the floor and the camera is just perfectly steady right on me. This thing is definitely a gimbal killer. Put it anywhere on your bike or helmet, what have you, and the footage is just gonna look smooth as butter. Now on to following a target or panning the camera. The Rylo 360 has a couple of ways of panning the camera. One way is to press and hold on a target and click follow, and the software is just going to follow that target from that point on in the video until you give it another command. Of course, the issue with that is it constantly lost track of its target or person anytime the target would just suddenly change direction or come too close or go too far too quickly. So I just ended up using the other option, which is using the look here feature throughout all the clips. You basically just face the camera in the direction you want it to be facing at any point in time in the video. And to fine-tune where it's looking at, just press on the target that you want the camera to be looking at that specific timestamp, and just press and hold, click here, and it's gonna just pan from the last point you did that on the previous timestamp, and then when it plays towards that timestamp, it's gonna pan between those 2 points. And if you just put a bunch of those markers together every few seconds on the timeline, it's just gonna look like a regular follow cam, and it's pretty amazing. You can see I just followed that turn with the camera and then followed through all the way around and had the camera follow me through the whole turn and up, just using look here markers on the timeline. Here I just put the Rylo on the ground and put markers at our entry and exit points, and I let the Rylo do its thing. The speed of the panning is determined by how close the markers are to each other. So if you had a look here marker in one direction and then 1 second later had a look here marker 180 degrees from that direction, then it's just gonna look like an instant cut. But if you separate it by a few seconds, then it's gonna pan between those two positions. Most of the time you don't have to use a lot of markers. If you're just following somebody, the camera's just gonna keep facing that guy if that's the last marker that you put on the camera. The only time you're gonna have to put a lot of markers one after another is maybe if there's a bunch of zigzagging turns and you wanna make sure that the person in front of you is constantly in the shot. Now for the most important part, when it comes to mountain biking. Why is the Rylo 360 not ready for mountain biking videos? Even with all these amazing things it can do, it still has one glaring flaw, and it's the image quality. At best, in good lighting, and not too many leaves and stuff to mess up the compression of the video, it looks like decent quality 480p. But once you go into the trails with trees filling up your whole field of view, it starts looking more like 240p. That just takes away from the immersion of the video. I've never enjoyed a blurry trail ride video, so for now, we're returning the Rylo and we'll probably be buying a GoPro. But if a future Rylo reaches the image quality of a GoPro Hero 6, even if let's say they make a GoPro Hero 7 with double the image quality with 8K or whatever, but they have a Rylo with the quality of a GoPro Hero 6, then I'm probably gonna go with the Rylo just to not have to deal with wearing a gimbal. So that's my take on the Rylo 360. Thanks for watching my first ever YouTube video. I'm gonna go ride my bike now. Peace out.
And in the Ponca City Blackwell area, 68 degrees today.